All right, Dili, thanks for coming, man. Like, I know it was a bit of a trip. It was like about 40 minutes from Jalkani.
Not really, because there was no traffic, so around 20 minutes.
Yeah, today, surprising, there was like
Right,
barely any
right,
traffic.
True.
It's pretty rare. You know, one of the things that was quite surprising to me when I was talking to my uncle about you, I thought you were Al the first time I met you.
Bro, you're not the first person, you know. I was doing Shillong for 10 years. And then a lot of my friends and even the elderly people, they always assume that I'm from the Ao community. Yeah, I've got a lot of good Ao friends, so probably that makes me one of them, right?
Yeah, you've assimilated almost.
Yeah.
One of the things that when I look at businesses and when I look at a cafe like yours, one of the things is that there's never usually a face behind that. Sometimes the business people, they're okay with just giving away their freedom to like a manager hiring someone.
Right.
But you're down there. You're down there with your staff. You're down there talking to the customers. I see you almost every day like doing that. Most people wouldn't do that.
Right.
You're also making sure that like the standards are met.
True. So, see, I'm new to business. My only experience is like you go visit places and all that, and I realize that, you know, when you step into a place and you see the owner, I mean, you have a different vibe, right? I mean, oh, wow. I mean, you may not have a good connection, but just saying hi, hello to the owner, it's a different level. And ever since I started, I mean, I don't have any trained barista. So I myself went for training, and I have few reasons of why I went there. So initial year, 16, 17 till 18, I was always there inside the kitchen. But now, I mean, since that, I have already built up my relationship. Most of my customers, I know them. So I think that, no, I need to spend time here. I mean, if you really want to grow, then you need to be around. So,
like I said, again, that's quite rare. So
right.
Especially in our Naga culture.
True.
Right?
I mean, in our society, what happens is like you own something. I mean, you'll hire someone and then you give shit about like what is happening there. You make sure that you get money, right?
Exactly.
But, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's my interest and my passion of like what I'm doing right now. So.
The first time I heard about D Cafe, unfortunately, I wasn't here. We were outside.
Right.
My sister put up on a group chat. She was like, look, there's this cafe that's serving whiskey plus coffee. So I think you guys were one of like the first cafes to do that, right? The Irish whiskey.
Right.
So, you know, Nagaland's very holy, very Christian.
True.
So that might have been, that's pretty ballsy for you to do.
Right. I mean, to be very honest, you go around. So 2012 was the year I joined. I mean, I came back to Kohima, and my time in Shillong, I mean, you go to any local corner, you find wine store, right? And I never get a privilege to drink, probably for whatever reasons. You know, my parents must have told, like, you know, drinking it's not good, and with your Christian beliefs and all that. But after I come back here, I have few friends. I mean, they're not really into alcohol, but like from time to time they drink. So I said, chalo, let me also start off with wine and all that. And lately, I found out that all the corners in Kohima, they're selling booze, you know?
Absolutely.
So I was like, oh, okay, fine. So when I started my cafe, I thought like, you know, this is a good combination, and especially for a place like Kohima.
Right.
I know that it's going to be a hot cake. So, and truly, yes.
Even the aesthetics of the whole place. I think my uncle said that you used to be an architecture or interior design.
Not really. So I went for my studies for architecture.
Okay.
I was there for a semester. I mean, I couldn't continue for a few reasons behind. And
that was in Shillong?
No, that was in the Chandigarh.
Okay.
Back in 2015, right after I completed my class 12. I went there and I was there briefed for 6 months. So I keep saying this to a few friends, and of course your uncle, mine, knows very well the reason why I left. And I initially I regretted so much that I couldn't continue architecture, but lately, you know, I'm quite thankful to God that somehow I have like a small idea of like how to, you know, put things together, how to put up and all that. So maybe that has also helped me to not decor, but yeah, come up with that setting.
Right. Well, that was what I wanted to ask. Was like, did your skills or whatever you learned from architecture that translate into decorating, or did you have to put your mind inside like a 16-year-old or like a 17-year-old high schoolers, and that's how you sort of decorated your cafe?
If you're an architect, you have to have your blueprint, right? I mean, you work with CAD, and like you have to come up with the whole idea of like how to put up. So the skeleton need to be there. For me, I'm not into technicalities, so I just put it in my mind, okay, how I want to put up. And in a way, God has blessed me so much. I mean, little thing that I do, everything does not picture it one time. I mean, let's say that, okay, I come up with a table. Next is like, okay, where to put up the chair? And, that idea comes. So along with the progression, things started to happen. So
Well, yeah, like just looking at the space that you have in D Cafe, the one thing that comes to my mind is like there's no wasted space at all. Like even your second store in
Right.
Kohima, like that place is a lot smaller,
yeah.
but it's more intimate.
Bro, you don't know how I was so bold to take that place. Because initially the arrangement is not like that. As in the step come right at the middle.
Right, yeah.
So I said, okay, so if I get this place, how I'm going to work it out, right? So I spent almost like a week or so. I mean, how to put up, but I've already agreed upon, okay, fine, I'm going to get it. So the first was like, okay, I need to shift the step.
Okay.
So coming from the middle, I come up right in the front so that I can utilize the space in the later part. And second was okay, where I put up my small pantry, right? I mean, where to keep the coffee machine and all that. And I was battling a little bit of like there, but no. I mean, I need this place. So that's how it come up, yeah.
The equipment that you guys have, does it take a lot of space?
Not really. But at least you need a space, especially for the coffee machine and as a barista. I mean, as you keep brewing, I mean, you need a little space to walk around and all that. So,
Well, that's the interesting thing about cafes. I used to work in boba tea part-time, and you'd be very surprised, as you already know, is like you don't need that much space.
Yeah, right.
Like just for that one space alone, for
true,
the worker
true,
space, it's like
true.
what, 150
That's
square
it.
feet?
That's it.
Right.
Right.
And the rest is just basically customer.
True.
Why did you decide to open another shop in Kohima?
Right.
Because the distance between jail colony and the one there is what, 15 minutes?
I'll be very honest with it. I mean, as initially as we were talking about how bad is the traffic in Kohima. I mean, even back in 2016 is like really, really bad. And
It's never
now,
gotten better.
Yeah. I mean, it's worse now. So 16, of course, never. But 17, 18, when we start to have regular customer. And then a lot of people from Barabosti and also from Bayevan High School, we have a lot of good customers. So not often, but once in a while they were like, bro, we really want to come up. And, like the traffic was so bad. We went back. I mean, why don't you open one in the main town and all that? So 18 was the year when I started thinking about, okay, why don't I start one in the main town? But what happened was we had some invitation from here and there. I did a little bit of experimenting of opening up in the Secretariat in Made in Nagaland.
Oh, okay.
And more so because didnt really want to partner us. As in like they want us to come up and put up our stall there in the Made in Nagaland. So that was one thing, but it was a bad choice for me. And I also realized, okay, I'm in business, you make mistakes, right? And the same year I left, some few officers from the police department. I mean, they become very good customer at our main jail colony. So that's how they said, Dili, you know what, we need a good coffee at our office. So inside the complex, we opened up into 2018.
Do you guys have any plans on opening up in like Dimapur, those type of places?
Yeah, I mean, again, the same thing. A lot of people, because see, at the end of the day, Nagaland is quite small. And you talk about the population in Dimapur and Kohima, more like same people keep traveling around, right? And then the few very good number of customers from Kohima, they're also based in Dimapur right now. I mean, for instance, a day before yesterday, I attended a wedding. And then we had a after wedding party. And some of them, they have been here in Kohima for a very, very long time. Because of work or whatever reasons, they are down in Dimapur now. And then not just once, repeatedly they were asking me, Dili, when are you coming down? We have this space. I mean, there's space. I mean, it'll be very good for you to come and open there and all that. So I've been saying the same thing. I don't want to rush. Few experiences that I've seen from our seniors and people who are into business. I mean, when you rush too much,
I agree.
I mean,
100%. Especially when you franchise,
Right,
the quality tends
true.
to go down.
So I said, let me take time, but definitely that's there on the list. Else, we got some few invitation from Guwahati, from Shillong. But yeah, we're not in a hurry anyway.
So are you always running between those two stores, or do you have someone there?
Most time I'm in my main cafe for whatever reasons. But initially when we open up in the main town, almost for 2-3 weeks, like most of my time I'm there in the main town. But now I've seen like how the business is there. I mean, it's not too busy. People just want to quickly come and have coffee.
Right.
I mean, so it's a complete different scenario. I mean, if you talk about a jail colony in the main town, so the crowd that comes there, I don't really have to come and then sit and chat with them. Whereas people who comes to jail colony, they need that, bro. So, of course, I still keep coming at least once or twice in a day, but like just a short visit, making sure that everything is okay. So either in the morning or maybe late afternoon. So those are the two timing that I would love to come and then check on my stuff as well as like the customers as well. So
that makes more sense because that Kohima town is like full of like shopping places.
Right.
So people, like you said, people are just going and going.
Mm.
You guys sort of changed the culture when it came to just sitting down and chilling.
Right.
Because before, back when I was in high school here, it was just chow and momo. You eat and then you leave.
Right.
It was always like on the go.
Right.
So how did you see that market? How did you exploit it?
Talking about 2012 when I come back to Kohima, and because of my stays in Shillong for 10 years, I've been to a lot of cafes there, and then the whole things are different, right? And here, like you mentioned, like only chow momo, like keep coming, going.
Right.
I mean, a few of my friends who want to spend there like for half an hour, 45 minutes. There was never a time the owner will say, okay, please leave. But you have seen their reaction, right? I mean, when you stay for long, like, okay, no, like you're done with your food. What are you doing?
Like
I mean,
you're
why
a
you not
pest.
leaving? Yeah, right. So, I mean, over the course of time, I was thinking like, okay, why don't we come up with a cafe culture? I mean, I don't mind people buying a cup of coffee, staying the whole day. I mean, I want to create a space for young people just to come and spend their time there. So that was one of our intention. Besides creating a coffee culture, but also we want to create a cafe culture as well. So those are the two things that why we started a cafe besides generating some revenues.
Well, I'm kind of surprised that taking that into consideration why the Secretariat store didn't happen because you're right next to High School Junction, which is like Northfield and Jirio.
I think with the kind of crowd that we have right now, I mean, I share the same thing to the boss of the YouthNet, Hikani. So I think we stepped in at the wrong time.
I see.
That was number one. And also wrong space, I should say, because if Made in Ireland is before the entrance of the Secretariat main office, it would be a different story, right? But it's like a little few meters away from the main entrance, and that if you want to go there, you have to turn back and then park your car there and then step in.
Yeah,
so
most people just go straight.
Yeah,
right.
That makes a huge difference. So, and one reason would be talking about how the office people work here. I mean, I'll be very honest with that. So they'll come around like 10:30, 11. Let's assume that. And then by 12:30 they'll go out for lunch. By 2 everyone leaves, right? So hardly they have time. I mean, I was thinking if that place is like the other cities where you have to work for 9 hours, completely 9 hours, then definitely business is going to be good. I mean, a lot of even the offices, they keep making fun of their own colleagues, saying that there's never a time of their office staff to work inside the office. Every time is like one or the other. I mean, you come late, okay, you come in late. I mean, during that period of 12 to 1, you see them out, okay, lunchtime. And 2:30 to 3, okay, like, bye-bye. I mean, we're done with work. I mean, there's no work in the office. So hardly there's time for our office people to work inside the office. So I think that's also one of the reasons.
When you're like on Instagram like I am, or like most people,
right?
Whenever a new author or a singer or an influencer, when they want to release their new book or release their new soundtrack, something, Decafe just seems to be the place to do it.
See, I mean, openly we never tell people that, okay, I mean, whatever you want to do, you come and do here. It's always them like, okay, I mean, we need a space. I mean, this evening is coming up. We need this much of people. Will it be okay for us to come and then organize? So individually, I mean, if they want to promote let's say, songs or artists, or for that matter, like even painting as well.
Right.
I mean, I'm more than happy because they haven't get a stage, right? And then I felt myself like, creating that space will help them a lot. And especially 2019, we had a weekly kind of open gigs organized by a friend of mine. And what happened then was all those artists were new. I mean, they have never ever sang before in an open space like that.
Okay.
But this guy, he know that, okay, I mean, they have got some gift. I mean, they've got some talents. They can sing. So that's how we started to collaborate, work together. And then, we created a space.
Okay.
And I would say like more than 50% who came and who sang during those time is a singer today, like they started to compose their own song. I mean, they started to get into a big platform. So I'm more than happy that, we could also contribute in a small ways in their care. So until now, I would honestly say, unless like it is like for purely for profit, I never charge anybody who comes and uses
Really?
space there. Never.
So who created that space for you to come in and start up your coffee shop?
So, I mean, it's multiple. Some it's like individual. I mean, they'll just come and ask us. Some is like group. Okay, we want this. For instance, I'm just taking an example of this group called as Madamir. I think it's a group of our community. I mean, few friends come together, and their intention was to help the unreached people. So what happened was they need some fun, right? So this is, what we're going to do. Initially, we want to have some not open mic, but invite some few artists and then have some ticket system. So for that, I didn't charge even a single penny. Now, of course, they've changed their trend and collecting books, given to people who don't have a library and all that. So like just an example like that, I mean, we try to help them in whichever capacity we can. And until today, we still allow them to come and, I mean, it's kind of like a collection point for their books collection right now.
Right.
And with their book drive, what they do, I mean, they'll collect a lot. I remember 2021.
Okay.
And then they went to some interior part where there's no library. They set up a library for those communities. So quite encouraging, right? So, I mean, physically, I may not be there. I may not contribute financially, but like in small ways. So.
Right. Well, that's one of the biggest things that people are always saying is like, do something for the community in however way you can.
Right.
And you wouldn't think about that when it comes to business, but you seem to be doing it. And I didn't know it was for free. I just found this out.
Right.
So when you started your cafe, what was that like? The first like stepping stones? How were you envisioning it? Was it like the first choice Jail Colony? Why did you choose Jail Colony?
Right. See, so I was teaching in the school for 4 years, right? So then,
what were you teaching?
What?
What were you teaching?
Where or what?
Yeah, what?
So I did my studies in environmental science.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I think we have like few people who have done the studies in environmental science as well.
Right.
So I was quite privileged. I mean, out of 60 candidates, I was the one selected.
Oh, really?
In Baptist High.
Wow.
Right, and then I haven't got my 4th semester result. So the interviewer checked my 1st, 2nd, 3rd semester, and I told them honestly, even if I work here, I may not be like staying for long. I mean, 6 months is like guaranteed I'll be there, but after that I'm not so sure. But they're more than happy to have me there. So I was quite thankful to God for allowing me that space to gain some few experience.
Right.
So along the time, like I said, I want some coffee, but there's no coffee place. I want a place where I can just relax and stay, but there's not a place. Right. So that's when I started to think, okay, I mean, setting up a cafe will be a good thing. But honestly saying, bro, I mean, I didn't have any capital with me. My family background is like very, very humble that my parents are not in a position to support me at all. And me, myself, working in the private sector, I mean, how much can I earn, right? I mean, whatever you get, you're just making life out of it. There's no saving at all.
It's right. That's what they say. Paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, that's what. So, 15 was the year when I started to think, okay, I want to open up. And I talked few of my friends, and there's this guy called as Harish, who is based in Shillong, and he's more of an uncle to me. godly father to me and also a friend, and we become quite close. When I was there in Shillong, I was actively involved in the church, and he being a believer in that big town in Shillong, and he's the only believer there. So somehow we become like very close. So when I share my idea of like, okay, uncle, I want to open this, and he says that's very good, but you really need to think about it because business is not really easy. And I share that, okay, uncle, you know what? Even if I want to start, I don't have money. And he says, don't worry, the Lord will provide. And after that, I get a privilege to work with some American people in Bodh Gaya. So that's when I went for my training. I came back. After I came back, that was like Jan, right?
Okay.
So joined back to the school. I was working there at the school. I was like, if I'm not opening now, it's going to be a waste for me, right? I've went there, spent a lot of time. I work for 16 hours a day, learning all the managerial skills about brewing coffee, everything. So I thought like, okay, if I'm not going to utilize that, it's going to be a waste.
Right.
So slowly I was looking around. That was in the month of March.
Okay.
I clearly remember 2016. So after the school got over, my friend and myself, we went to Big Bite and we ordered for coffee. And you know how coffee is, right? Then there's instant coffee. So I was like, bro, see, this is one reason why I want to open a coffee shop. And then, at the end of the day, I think everything works for good at the right time. And the same day, we saw that the whole shutter, the place where we are opening now, is closed. And then below our coffee shop, if you remember, there's one small shop where they do the recharge and some few Xerox and all that. So my friend knows him very well. So he came and we were just chatting, asking like if this room is free. And he says, yeah, it's free. And the owner lives on top of the building. So I was like, bro, why don't we just go and check it out? So that's how we went, check, meet the owner. They said it's free. And everything begins from there.
Wow.
The owner says, this is the security. If you want to get it. So I said, okay, give me some few more days. I'll try to work it out. And exactly after a month, they called me up. Dili, so what's your plan? If you're not coming, then we're going to give to someone else. Someone want to come up and set up a bank or something like that, So I said, no, I'm getting it. But deep inside, I was like, okay, where's the money? How do I pay the security? Which is like 2 lakhs, but we negotiated to 1.5. And me with no money, okay, fine. I'll just go ahead. And the same thing, after I get that offer, I talked to my friend, an uncle from Shillong. Dili, don't worry, the Lord will provide. So he kept mentioning that, I was like, okay, but how do I go about, when I know myself, right? But the first was, okay, I talked to my daddy talked to a friend of his, and he have got some money, but he want to give it for loan.
Right.
Like, not for free. Not without interest, but with few interest. So I said, okay, 1.5. I went get it. All that I paid for the security.
Wow.
So I was like, okay, what's next? How do I go about? Right. So I shared that, okay, uncle, I have managed to pay it for the security. How do I go about? He said, please come up to Shillong. We'll talk about, and we'll pray together.
Okay.
When there, he gave me 1 lakh. And the first thing was like, I want to keep it opened. You may not be able to visualize now because then it's like the whole kitchen was closed. If you remember the old setup.
I don't think I remember, no.
Okay, anyway, so the whole kitchen, they have set up in such a way that, they have a small 2 rooms inside. And they want to use that as a kitchen or whatever. And the rest is like quite open, so dusty. So I said, okay, I want to have an opened kitchen. So with that money, I break down the walls, clean up.
Okay.
And I ordered the sofa set for 10 people, right? So that was the first thing that I did. Breaking down the walls and getting ordered the sofa set. And after that, okay, what's next? And I have to get ready with the equipments, and equipment is like very expensive.
It's very expensive.
Yeah. Starting from a small spoon to the biggest and the most expensive machine, like coffee machine. I have to buy everything, right, bro? So, Most expensive would be the coffee machine. Then I spend around like 3 lakhs. And then, of course, the fridge, the deep freezers, and the coffee. I mean, the what do we call the microwave,
Right.
OTG, and bought the oven as well, and induction. I mean, so
It adds up.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I mean, you thought like, okay, fine. I think this should be okay, but when you start into the field, I mean, okay, this is missing, this is missing, this is missing. So a lot of things are there.
Right.
So I'm quite thankful to God that it took me 6 months for me to complete that.
Really,
Yes,
that
yeah,
whole transition
the whole thing,
was 6 months,
6
and
months.
then that's when you opened.
Yeah, and I mean, in a way, I was like, okay, fine. I mean, why does it took me so long? But lately, I also realized. I mean, I started to comprehend of how God loves is. Had I received like 15 lakhs, 16 lakhs, so that's the total amount that I invested initially. Yeah. So if I received that at one time, I may not really realize, okay, fine, like this, what the Lord bless or how the
Right.
Lord bless, right? But like I was mentioning, this part is done. So I was like looking, and then the next something open up, and from there I'll get the money, I'll invest on this, and after doing that, okay, one way it opens up. So that's how it gradually started to open up the ways, and I could complete finally. So at least half of the total would be from friends who said, okay, fine, you take it, use it, pay us like whenever you're ready without any interest. And of course, the remaining are like with interest from
Right.
Few Society. Because then like I didn't have an existing business. I couldn't get any loan or any help.
No
as such.
investors or anything like
No,
that?
not at all.
At the time? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's what people say is that, like, when you're trying to start a business,
Mhm.
you can't just go into the mindset like, I have money, and by investing in it, I'm gonna make money.
Right, right.
Like, you didn't have any money. So for people who are like starting up, who are afraid to start up, would the best advice be just do it?
Yeah.
Like, just start doing it.
Yeah,
Like, just start
yeah.
working on whatever idea that you have.
So after 16th, 17th till today, I mean, by God's grace, with whatever we're doing, a lot of colleges, individuals, and organizations that would ask me to come and then share my stories. So I keep saying this, especially to the youths. Just because you don't have money, don't stop what you're dreaming and what you have visioned it. Because that's what I have faced. I have no money at all, not even single penny in my account. But I want to do it, so that's how I started. And of course, I mean, if you're just sleeping, I mean, if you're lazy, if you're not on time, I mean, what's the point, right? I
Right.
mean, you started, so you need to be sincere. You need to be hardworking in whatever you are doing it. So that's one thing that I keep telling to the young people, I mean, today. I mean, if you want to do, just go ahead. Don't stop. Don't let anything stops you. Especially because a lot of our young people, and then we as a medieval or the society where we depend so much on our parents.
Right.
I mean, we cannot come up, okay, let me just go ahead. So I tell them, like, just go ahead. Don't depend on anyone. And things will just happen.
Well, yeah, I completely agree. Especially with
Yeah.
in our culture, like exactly like you said, we're so dependent
True,
on our
true.
parents
Right, right.
that we can't even think proactively without
Mhm.
them. Whenever we want to do something, because there's also that safety net. If I fail, well, my parents have money.
Right,
They can
right.
always bail me out.
Right.
You didn't, so in that way, you were more sincere.
And I would say, bro, that's one of the factors that is pulling out a lot of our local people and our Nagas. Just because it is not their hard earned, it is something that the parents have like, okay, ready made, and then they do it. And then see, the problem is that's not what they want to do.
Right.
I mean, that's not the interest. And what happened is like at one point of time they were like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, but just because my parents have money, they have set this up for me.
Right.
I mean, it cannot last.
Well, it was just what we were talking about earlier, the managerial role.
Haha,
Like you're
right,
just there. You're
Right.
just there to look at people, but the hard work has already been done for you. Also, just listening to your story, you seem to have like an extraordinarily good support system.
See, all those people who have supported me are also from a well-to-do family. Except the one that I was talking about earlier. I mean, he has like a number of properties in Shillong, but we don't have any connection, right? Besides like friends. no blood relation, no family, friends, nothing.
Right.
But just that, I mean, he believed so much in me. So even today, like I respect him a lot for his generosity. Besides that, few friends are like, okay, I mean, they have made some few saving, right?
Right.
And I mean, even if they're going to keep, it's going to keep it like that. So, I mean, of course, I have not forgotten them. In a small ways, even to the, I'm just taking an example. I'm sharing this for the first time. So there's this pastor who works in Shillong, Naga pastor, and so he was really happy that I am starting this project. So he has like 1 lakh in his account, and that's his saving by the church that gives him, right? I mean, beside the salary, they give a little bit of allowance. That allowance he never use it; he keep it for saving. So he says, Dili, if you want to have this, you can use it. Pay me whenever you're ready. And I have been supporting him ever since I joined the school. It's like just a bit because that was my commitment to him when I was in Shillong. So he's not been sponsored by the church, but a few friends around, or family whom he knows. So every month, like from here 1,000, from there 2,000, and collectively that comes to like 15, 20,000. So that's how he's surviving. So I mean, I'm quite blessed that he is like more than happy to let me use whatever he's saving. Of course, I did return it to him when he needed. So
Right.
yeah, so few things like that, bro. I mean, not by people who have a lot. I have few family friends like who are really rich, but I think they're a little skeptical about whether we'll get it back on time. Yeah, and I don't blame them because they know the situation of our family. But but by God's grace, there are people who trusted so much on the project that I started. So that's how we begin. Yeah.
Also, besides the fact that you saw that there was a need for a cafe
Mhm,
market,
mhm.
what other like ideas or motivations spurred you to actually open up a cafe?
I mean, so everything begins in Pune. I mean, I have a plan that I want to start, but how to begin, right? I mean, everything has its own starting point. So, um, I went down there for some work. I mean, along with my fiancée and his sister. I mean, her sister, and then the very close friend of mine lives there in Pune for almost 15 years, and he belonged to Tangkul community. So I was working in the students' union when I was in Shillong. I was
Okay.
working for Pune Students' Union. So and we met in Delhi, 2011, and ever since we become good friends. So I came down in Pune along with his contact. He hosts us, and then he knows that I love coffee, right? So he was taking me to different places, and lucky enough, I think see at the end of the day, as I mentioned earlier, everything works for good at the right time. So we went to a place called as Coffee Jar, a very old coffee shop in Pune.
Okay.
And then my friend was talking about the owner of like how he started and how committed he is into his business. And over the course of conversation, I was sharing this idea to my friend. Oh wow! I mean, I wish I can start one in Kohima. And at the right moment, the owner came in.
Okay.
He was riding a scooty. I was like, I mean, quite simple, right? And my friend was like, hey, he's the owner. And he introduced me. Hey, Sini, you know what? This is my friend. He came from Kohima. He's here like for a few days. And he really wanted to open up a coffee shop. The moment he says, I want to open up a coffee shop, he just grabbed hold of me. Okay, okay, we are meeting up tomorrow for lunch. I mean, see, he don't know me, right? But
Right.
out of nowhere, it just happened like that. So the next day, we went to his place. He invited us for lunch. And over that, he shared some few things that I need to be prepared. Number one was like, you need to go for training. Anyhow, you have to go for training. And if you go for training, not less than 3 months. Because in 1, 2, you will know nothing. But 3 months is the time when you will decide whether this is what you want to do or not.
Right.
And after that, he says, don't worry about equipments, don't worry about raw material. We're here to provide you. And we'll always be there. And also, don't worry about your training. I will find out people who are ready to train you. So I said, okay, I'm willing to do that, but not right now, So that was the conversation. Came back to Kohima. in 2 weeks' time, the owner called me up
Okay.
and says, Dili, you need to go to Bodh Gaya. And I said, Senior, I don't want to go to Bodh Gaya. And he couldn't convince me anymore. So what happened was he gave my number to those American people.
Okay.
And lucky enough, this, that's what, they're working for a ministry.
Right.
So when they called me up, they convinced me a lot, saying that, okay, they'll actually, what is your problem? There are a lot of Naga people here who is doing their medical studies. We have this. We'll have 2 baristas who are working for almost 7 years in Texas, so they can train you so well and all that. So I couldn't really resist it, bro. And then I talk about packages, and it's quite healthy. So after that, I was like, okay, fine. I mean, if I go for training, can I join back to the school? And I mean, if I don't have money, how will I start? So I talked to our principal, and he's more than happy, to allow me to leave or to provide me a leave for 6 months.
Wow.
I mean, and all the other colleagues are like, what is happening with our principal?
Right.
See, this is not even a government school. It's a private school. And again, like, you have just joined. I mean, you have not worked here for the last 10 years. It's just 3 years now. And then how comes, like, he could be so gracious to you? But I share the idea. And then lucky enough, our principal is also someone who has a vision for the society. So that's how I went there, did my training. Lucky enough that I joined when they were about to start. So I thought, like, they have already started.
Okay.
What they were saying is that they need a local manager to take care of it, because since they are from America, I mean, the American people, they cannot stay here for the whole year. Right. There'll be a time for them to just go back and come in and all that. And so I could come there, see how things set up. So that was like before they started the coffee shop. And then 2 of them, they had a little debate of like, okay, we should start. And the other one will be, no, we have to do everything ready and we'll have a grand opening. And the other one's, no, we need to start making money. We can't just leave it like this. Right. So, I mean, all that process, I was there. And I was like, okay, this is good, this is bad, Okay. So when we finally opened, I was there from cleaning the table to mopping to washing dishes, making coffee to baking. So everything was there. And also a little later, starting from taking care of the money, go for inventory. So that's the whole thing of the managerial skills also started to evolve, and we started to recruit more people. But honestly, like, working for 15-16 hours a day was never easy for me anyway. But that was like an eye-opening. I mean, you come back, you're so tired, you can't do, you don't even want to do anything. You just want to just straight away rest, right? So that was the situation. And then early morning, by 6 I have to get up. By 6:30 I have to be there. Right. And 6:30 to 7 is like prayer time and breakfast time. So I can't miss that, right? So
again, you see it in your demeanor. I think anyone who meets you, like, you're just very this positive guy. And I always believe in the saying that people don't leave jobs, they leave management.
Right.
And sort of, is that the way that you've translated with the way that you're taking care of your staff and the way that you're looking at your customers?
By God's grace. So initially when we started, I recruited 4 of them.
Okay.
4 of them, 1 left after 3 months. The other 3 stay with me for 2 years. I mean, the other one worked till 2 years. The other 2 worked with me for 5 years. And I'm really happy that they're very comfortable about what we are doing. And I also realized that, imposing so much of do's and don'ts didn't really help as well. I mean, when I was teaching the school, our principal believed in responsibility. I mean, I can't just like you, like a robot, like do this, do that. I mean, when you know that things are going to be different. So I always say this. I mean, I respect all of you as my staff. We don't have any description of like, you the manager, you're the barista, you're the cleaner. Everyone will do whatever we need to be.
Right.
I mean, to get engaged. So I have also shown them an example of like, okay, I mean, needed be, I'll go clear the table. Needed be, I'll go wash dishes. I mean, I still do that even today. Not because like I want to show them, but okay, if there's a space to be filled, then I will still do it. So I mean, there are a few people who are not very comfortable, or for some few reasons they left. But whoever are staying here for long, I mean, they're really happy with our environment until today. So,
What's the criteria that you look for in a good staff?
see,
Let's say you're a receptionist.
yeah. First thing, you need to have a little bit of education as well, and that will add on so much in the later part. Because I think education at the end of the day is something that will create some personality in you as well, right? I mean, so let's say a person who don't have any studies, someone who have a studies, both of them are equally good at heart, but if you put up the personality, it'll be differently.
For sure.
Yeah. So of course I need someone who is graduate, especially for the barista and to stay at the front. Besides that, we don't have much criteria.
Really?
But whenever I recruit or have an interview with any new people who want to work, my first question is like, okay, how long can you work here? So I have to look for the commitment. And there are some like who have done their studies, like, you know, master students or even the engineer students. They want to work on. I was like, no, please. I mean, unreasonable, right?
They're
I mean,
overqualified.
yeah, overqualified, and I don't need that.
Right.
And then I couldn't see you're consistent here. I mean, you may be here for 6 months. The next moment you get a better job, I can't stop you from getting further, right? So that's the thing. I mean, I always question about, okay, what is commitment? How long can you work? So usually what happens is, for me, we have 3 months probation. So in that, I will check on them. And if they don't like it, they can leave after 3 months.
Okay.
If I don't like it, I have to say, okay, fine. I mean, these are the things that I don't want you. You can leave. But lucky enough, until now, we have none so far. Maybe in 2 months' time, somebody will come up with some engagement or things like that. I don't know how far it's true, but a few things like there. But most of them, yeah, they will just.
So you retained your employees, pretty much.
Right.
One of the number one things that if you're a part-timer or you're looking for a potential job, that's what you look for: employee turnover.
Right.
Because you want to make sure that the employees are valued and they're working in a good environment. Let me get to this one. How are you guys sourcing your coffee?
So when I did my training to 2015, these American people, and again, you will know better. These people, I mean, they're also very particular about what they want, right? Very detailing. And lately, they could source the beans from Blue Tukai, and they really like it. And so after I come back, when I come up with the idea of, okay, I need to start and all that, I was like, okay, I need to get the beans from that company. And I talked to the owner. I mean, he's more than happy to source us. So that's how we started to get the beans from Blue Tukai. So the beans right now we're using it's from Chikmagaluru, Karnataka.
So the kind of roast that you guys are using, is it like commodity roast or is it like a single origin kind of roast? Like, do you know where these?
I always prefer a single origin.
Okay.
Initially, I did a little bit of experimenting, even talking about the quality of Arabica and Robusta. I blended like 80-20. I tried that also. I've also tried a medium roast, a little dark medium. And now what we are using right now is like the Vienna roast. 100% Arabica, 100% organic. And from a single estate.
Okay, so for people who might not know what single origin coffee, it's essentially exactly the way it sounds. It's coffee that comes from the same geographical location.
Right.
And sometimes even comes from the same farm.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea for that is that when you take it from a single location, you get the unique flavor profiles of that region.
And also the consistency.
Right, yeah.
Right, because a lot of places, I mean, when you start to shift coffee, I mean, people who know coffee, they will know better. Just at a flavor fan, like the taste will be just changed, right?
Right.
So that's one of the reasons I always want to get from the same origin. I mean, we couldn't get the time to show you like how the quality is. The sizes of the beans are like very uniform.
Really?
Yeah, very, very uniform. And that is lacking a lot of, the farmers as well. So
that's a good indicator of great coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And sort of a good coffee, or coffee is a lot like wine, right? The longer it takes for it to mature, the better the quality and the taste is. How do you weigh in on the debate of light roast versus dark roast?
That will boils down to personal choice, honestly.
What's your personal choice?
Dark roast, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
See, when you talk about medium, you definitely you're gonna get a little bit of sour citrus flavor, right?
Right.
And maybe fruity and all that. But when it's a little dark, you'll get a full body, right? And then you'll be a little chocolatey and a little oaky, right? So and then definitely it's going to be a bittersweet for
Right.
any dark roast, and I want that from my cup of coffee. I don't want my cup of coffee to be, like you drink and okay, you get the taste of coffee, but again, like it's a little sorry. I couldn't end up with my bittersweet. Probably because as a person, I also like anything which is bitter.
Oh, okay.
So that would be one reason. But again, looking to the demand right now, even in India, around 70 to 80% is like dark roast.
Really?
That's the demand.
Interesting.
And so that another person, 30, person, they must have started their coffee journey with medium roast. So it has so much to do with how you have adapted with the taste.
Right.
I mean, if you start a journey with coffee with medium roast, you will end up liking medium roast. If I start with dark, I will end up with dark. And what happened right now in our society or even in Kohima, whoever have started their coffee journey with our coffee shop, they will not like the other coffee because it's medium roast, right? And it's very light medium roast. So I mean, I'm honestly saying that. Not just one, but a number of our regular customers say so. So I mean, same thing with me.
Yeah, because that's always a contentious topic.
Right.
Because like you said, I think the dark roast gives like that more acidic
Huh.
flavor. While light roast, it's a lot harder it's a lot easier to mess up. Because if you mess up a light roast, you can definitely taste it. You can definitely taste like the earthy flavor, which you don't want, especially in a light roast. What are the methods that you guys are using?
The manual brew?
No, for your cafe, like are you using like a French press, or are you guys using like the pour over method? Like what are you guys using?
So I mean, initially when we started, I have only the pour over and the French press. Probably that's like one of the easiest method. And then we come with the AeroPressed. And also we have the siphon, which is quite interesting.
Could you explain to people what an AeroPress is?
I can't really exactly remember how it begins, but the whole thing was they've learned it from French press. And this particular guy who started the AeroPressed, he says, no, I want it to be quite easy. I want to make it more simpler. So, see, it has a little bit of mixing up with the air as you keep a gap with it for 2-3 minutes, and just putting upside down, and as you press, that has so much to do with how you want your coffee to taste like. Right. Yeah. So, see, I did judge last year in AeroPress competition.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So I was saying this to the other judges as well. See, this can be quite very unfair for the barista as well. Let's say he or she must have done so well, and we have 3 judges. Maybe I like the one who have done it nicely, whereas the other 2 may not like what I like it because of whatever it's adapted with the kind of how they've built up with their palate, right? So I say this can be very discriminative actually, but that's how in the entire world that's how it works with the competition. So yeah, but French press, AeroPress has been picking up so much right now.
I remember when it was first advertised. I was super young, but it was for office workers who were on the go.
That's what.
Portability. What do you look for in a good coffee?
Drink an Americano and espresso. That will definitely figure it out, or you will know better of like, okay, this is good, this is bad. For a good coffee, definitely you need to have a crema. Okay. I mean, let's say you're getting a Americano. Of course, if that's also depends on how you do the preparation as well, bro.
For sure, right.
So normally I keep saying this to my staff. First, pour out the hot water, and then you drip the coffee. Then you will retain the crema. So when you serve the customer, personally, as a coffee lover and also a coffee shop owner, I would want my cup to have that crema when I receive an Americano. And with that, I can also determine, okay, just by the look, I mean, if they're serving that way, with how I say it, dripping the water first and then the coffee shot, you will see whether the coffee is fresh and nice. And when they serve to you, if the coffee is fresh and nice, you'll get like a good aroma out of it. So that would be one thing. The crema, if it is not properly processed or washed, if there's a lot of parchment, what happens is that you'll get a lot of crema when they serve you. And at one point of time, you'll just drip it down everything, which means it's not a good coffee. So which means they don't properly clean up or wash it. So those are a few things. I mean, you will not see how the coffee drip, but from a dripping of a coffee in an espresso cup, you will, just by look, you can say, oh, this is a good coffee. Because you have to have a 3-layer, as in the crema and the heart and the body. So you'll always see that 3 differentiation every time you drip into the cup. So the moment, so usually I would prefer my espresso to stop at 22nd or 24th, in between that, the drip. Anything between 18 seconds to 28 is like a good cup. I mean, it may stop at 19 seconds, it may stop at 20, it may stop at 28, depending on how you tamped or how the size of the coffee is. But I want my espresso to stop at 22 or 22nd. I mean, 22nd or 24th.
Okay.
And the moment it stops, you will see those 3 different layers: the crema, the heart, and the body. And whenever you see that, I mean, whenever you get that, it's a good cup of coffee.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So what I would look for is you get a sip, play around with your tongue, and okay, fine. I mean, okay, this is it. It has the right proportion with the amount of water. Because what happens is, like, as you press it, because in AeroPress you have to provide some certain quantity. So for you to fill that up, you need to pour more water, or maybe you press it so much that it's excess, so you need to remove it. So that mixture will also determine so much on the taste of the coffee as well. So again, because whenever you're making a manual brew, you need time for the coffee to brew it. I mean, if it is 2 minutes, if you have pressed in 1 minute, definitely you're not going to get a full body of coffee there. So few things like that. I mean, I will see, okay, whether it tastes good as a coffee. I mean, is it proportion with the amount of water and the coffee?
What is the perfect ratio of water to coffee?
See, normally, so talking about an Americano, right? You may be serving with 160 ml in a cup. And definitely an espresso, you're getting a 30 ml, right? Yeah. So 130 is the water and 30 is your coffee. Or in some cup, which is a little bigger, it may be like around 200. Or maybe the regular takeaway cups will comes to 8 ounce, which is like 235, 36 ml. So, I mean, that would be a little more diluted. But yeah, around that 160, I mean, 130 to 200, around that will be definitely hot water. The remaining will be filled with 30 ml of espresso shots. So, yeah.
And like we just mentioned very briefly about latte art.
Right.
And when was that popular? 2000s? Like almost more than a decade, right?
Maybe, yeah, 2014, 15.
And that became super popular, especially in the Asian countries, Taiwan and
true.
Hong Kong. They made it like super popular. And that's a trend. Where do you see the coffee trend going, like in the future?
I would say, like, you talk about the South Asian countries, right? And talk about the Korean, talk about Chinese, talk about Singaporean. I mean, even our Naga people itself, I mean, we're quite trendy, right? And if you go to Western countries, they may appreciate, okay, wow, nice art, but they will not give much importance on what you design. At the end of the day, what they want is like a good cup of coffee. I mean, honestly, I'm saying this, when I went down there for training, they were very strict about, okay, this is how you have to froth for latte, this is how you have to froth for your cappuccino. Cappuccino, you need more foam. In latte, you not need much of foam, just a bit of foam. That's it. And they're least bothered about making the art. So when I started to making an art, they were quite impressed with it. But in a way, they're like, okay, I mean, they're least bothered. I mean, at the end of the day, I want a good cup of coffee, right? So, but like you said, it's become a trend right now. I mean, the whole world is taking so much of importance on the latte art. I mean, and I would say it has also so much of scope right now because a lot of competitions are happening. I had an incident where the world latte art champion came to Nagaland.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he came to a coffee shop. You might not have seen the picture, right? He drew my face in a cup. I mean, with his hand. I mean, I was like, what a handiwork it is. I mean, it took him like around 4 to 5 minutes. And the whole time I was like, is it coming? And then the moment he's done, he turned the cup. I was like, oh, that's me double-handed. Yeah. But it's crazy. I mean, it's amazing of how they could do it so nicely, maybe using a tools or even with the picture as well. The picture, I mean, if it depends on how you mix up the milk and the foam together, and as you start to pour, like how you like take care of the picture with your hand. So it's just so amazing. 2019, I was also invited as one of the judges in Kolkata.
Okay.
For Throwdown Latte Art. And then we had few participants of like around 14 to 15 from different states. And some they could do it, but some, I mean, like it's such a struggle for them. But such competition like that will boost them so much, I would say. And talking about the winner of the coffee champion, I mean the latte art championship. I mean, he valued so much. His time of like 5 minutes will earn him like how much? $500. Yeah, I mean, so it's going to the next level anyway. I mean, even from the latte art.
So you don't see that trend stopping anytime soon?
No, I don't think it'll continue to grow. See, and right now, I mean, if you talk about in any coffee shop, you will find out, okay, fine. This must be a good coffee shop because like they know how to make a good art and all that. So that assumption is always there, right? I mean, and that will happen because like I said, we're just the first generation of coffee drinker. But once you get a taste of a coffee, you know your coffee, then okay, fine. I mean, I'm not really interested about this. I want my cup of coffee to be a good cup of coffee.
Well, as a consumer, when I was outside and I'll go to like Starbucks, for me as a customer, I always feel like cafes and coffee shops are balancing two things. Either they're balancing aesthetics,
right,
or the coffee taste.
Yeah.
And it always feels like they're compromising one for the other.
True.
How do you as an owner and how do you as someone who's experienced with coffee, how do you make that balance?
Quite interesting. Number one would be the quality. And I will always want to go for quality. Yeah. And then with your quality, you cannot just compromise with the essence of life, right? I mean, you want something to be very presentable and all that. So, like I said, it boils down to your skills. As long as you're providing good quality, and then that provide that aesthetic or the sense of presentation to have to be a little more trained. So,
with coffee, it's interesting. I think I found out like recently that coffee is like the number 2 most traded commodity in the world. I think number 1 is oil, and it's the number 1 most traded commodity in prison.
Wow.
Next to that is ramen noodles.
That I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those interesting. Like, what makes coffee so versatile?
Day before yesterday, and yesterday I had a training with some new coffee shop coming up in Kohima. I was telling them like coffee is like the most consumed beverages in the world. And like you were asking, I mean, what makes so versatile? Talking about myself as well, and a few things that I've seen, even my friends, then they never drink coffee. Once they started, see, it becomes quite addictive as well.
Yeah.
And then you can just end up drinking 1 cup of coffee. I mean, you always want to go for the next cup, and that always there. I mean, that's always there with my customer as well. They may come just for a cup of coffee, and like just 1 cup leaf are very rare, and they are not the regular customer. Regulars are like the feel they're going to end up like drinking 2-3 cups, and then I have a very funny incident with a friend of mine who never likes coffee. So I get to know him because he started a small business setup in our same complex. And I asked him, bro, we want to try an espresso. And of all the drinks, who will love an espresso? Unless, like, coffee, right? I mean, unless you love coffee. So I said a bit of, don't force yourself to just put up the whole thing. Just get a bit of the sip. Just play around with the tongue. And you would see how he reacted the first time he take a sip. It was like, I mean, you see how a Naga reacts, right? I mean, when you don't like something. And then that was the first incident. Next time he comes, I mean, let's say you order coffee, I have another shot free, I'm making double shot of it. So the free shot, I'll just give it to him. And like, bro, I don't really like it. I mean, it's so bitter. And slowly for almost a month, it may not be every day, but like time to time whenever he's there, I try to give that to him. And now he's like, at least he will drink like 5 cups a day, bro. So I think those are like something or few reasons that makes like very addictive to a lot of people. Right. And whoever have started coffee, they will not want to drink tea anymore.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah. I know people who can't survive without coffee. Like they need to like start their day with coffee, and they're drinking like 14, 15 cups.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the very few things that, for the most part, like the studies that we read in our classes, I don't think coffee, for the most part, has a lot of negative drawbacks.
Right.
Very good for your cardiovascular.
True.
It's good for your attention span, your immune system. It really wakes you up to start doing things. When you convince someone like him to trade over to coffee instead of like tea, especially in India, like I always felt that coffee could never compete with tea.
True.
Or any beverage for that matter.
Right.
When you look at tea coming from Assam, how has that been like separated from? Like how do people see that as two different competitions?
Talking about that, I mean, even in Nagaland, then our parents' generation, they're all into tea, right? And you must have also witnessed, talking about my daddy would want to have 3 cups of tea before he take his lunch. That's always there. But sadly, of course, my dad passed away before I start. But definitely, I know for sure that if he starts coffee, he's going to definitely go for coffee. So, see, I mean, just talking about putting things in your mouth. Coffee is something like you drink and you feel quite fresh, even within your mouth as well, right? I mean, when you drink tea, right after you tea, you want to put up something to clear up the taste that is there in your mouth. So, I mean, it can be a lot of reason why slowly people are getting into coffee. See, 2021, India is also started to produce a lot of coffee right now.
Okay.
But even that much of production cannot meet the needs of the demand. And that's one reason I keep saying to our Naga people as well. I mean, don't just limit yourself because, there won't be a market. In coffee, definitely there'll be a market. And knowing the fact that, slowly, I mean, even if you were to talk about the population of Kohima or let's say Nagaland, then the coffee drinker may be just 2%, right?
Right.
Now, definitely it must have reached to 5. And, as slowly as we start to open up the coffee shop and with the farmers continue to grow coffee, I mean, definitely the coffee drinker percentage is going to just go to 50%, yeah. In the next 2-3 years, definitely that's there.
Jeez. How does our Naga coffee compete with the mainland coffee?
See, I'll be very honest with it. We have few faults with the farmers because I'm not blaming the farmers as well, but it's something new to our farmers as well. I mean, you talk about terrace cultivation. Our parents or our Naga people can produce you like the most organic, the fresh, the nice rice, right? Whereas when it comes to coffee, it's a little more technical as well. And also the farmers are quite new into this field. And they also don't really know what to do and what not to do. So just an instance, our company, the Blue Tukai, and myself, 2019, we make a commitment of sourcing the beans from Nagaland.
Okay.
And they require like 20 tons or more than that. And right now we don't have that capacity to produce 20 tons a year, right? But anyway, so last year, the owner, he sent one of his expert. We went to a farm, and initially the farm has been provided the sampling by the land resource department, and they've covered up like a huge area. And in some part, it's like 4 years, and they start to bear the fruit, quite very healthy. And in some portion, it's like only 2 years, and they start to bear fruit. And what happened was the farmers are quite happy. This is like just 2 years and they're bearing fruit. I mean, it's so happy.
Right.
See, we don't know the details about it. But when my expert tried to intervene in that and saying that, you know what, we should never let the coffee start to bear before 4 years. And the reason is, if you let them start bearing 2 years, I mean, they still can, but you should stop from bearing fruit, because that will affect the later part of the prime time. Let's see, 10 years, 15 years, like the prime time of a coffee plant to bear fruit, that will disturb the whole thing. Because what happened is, in 1 year, 2 years, the coffee has not really found a foundation, right? I mean, they have not deeply rooted it. So my expert says that, I know if they start to bear fruit in 2 years, the root stops. See, in root, I don't really remember. You have adventitious root, which is not the main root, but you have the main root as well. So if the coffee plant started to bear fruit in 2 years or 3 years, the root is being disturbed. There'll be more of adventitious root than the main root. And later part, those are few things that will determine them to bear the maximum. And those are also some of the reasons, because coffee plant is also quite fragile, right? I mean, you have so much to do with the climate. There are a lot of factors that can determine them. So for them to withhold that, they need a good root. I mean, like any other, how we talk about the Christian foundation and all that. I mean, if you want to be strong, you have to be deeply rooted into the Word of God. Similarly like that, I mean, if you want to have a good crop, the roots need to be deeply rooted.
So 2 years is almost too less. It's not enough time.
Very, very less. So 4 years is good enough. So my expert was saying, this year, next year, if you see any flowering, please make sure you spoil it, everything. You damage it. I think just chop it off everything. Don't let them bear fruit. But that should need to be done when they start to flower, right? And some farmers are like, okay, I mean, it's bearing that, so shall I remove it? But it's already over. I mean, they're already bearing fruit, right?
It's matured.
Yeah, it's matured already. So, see, few things like that. I mean, even the farmers are not well versed of like what to do and what not to do. Just because like people are planting, just because some people are making money out of it, they're just jumping into it, and very less knowledge about how to take care of the plant. So that would be number one. Number two would be the processing. See, the other day I was talking with the minister of our state, and I was sharing this idea to him, knowing the fact that now, even in the Nagaland government, we talk so much about coffee. I mean, you go to the union government, I'm honestly saying this, if the union government asks the Nagaland government, what are the things you're producing? Now they can say coffee, right, bro? But again, when you come back, do we have a proper processing unit? No. And for you to get a good quality, you need to have a good processing unit. Right. And most of the beans that we're getting now is like not washed, but it's sun-dried. Yeah. So it has also like so much of difference in taste as well. Because when you talk about wash, it's like more refined.
Right.
Yeah. So initially, I'll be very honest about my friend Lee Chan, who is the owner of Ite Coffee, and then the Vivito, the Nagaland Coffee. So both of them got a coffee roaster. They're roasting now. Initially, maybe they may not have much idea of like how to roast. Honestly, I'm saying it doesn't reach to the level. The consistency with the roasting was never there. Some are like just being burned. Some are like quite very light. I mean, it doesn't even heat up also. But slowly they're picking up. I mean, today you taste some few, okay? Some roasters are like doing really, really good. I mean, they're giving a lot of importance, and I think they're doing justice in roasting as well. So I would say like these are few things No doubt the coffee that we're getting here falls under the specialty coffee. So when you talk about specialty coffee, it's like anything. So evening coffee, we have grading system, right? So
Right.
anything above 80 is like, falls under the specialty coffee. And a lot of people now, coffee drinker, they will always love to have a specialty coffee. Between 50 to 80 is like very commercial. You'll just get anything anywhere you want,
It's
and
basically
then just
instant.
yeah, instant coffee. And I keep saying this. You cannot change the whole farmer at one time. You train one farmer very well, and with our people, what happens is like we're so quick learning with what people are doing. For instance, you start a coffee shop, everybody's going to start, right? One people start a coffee plantation, everybody's going to start a coffee plantation. So also like if a person learn how to take care of the coffee, everyone will know it. So I keep saying, let's not focus at one time of like changing of or telling them of like how to plan, how to process and all that. If you can properly train group of people, they'll just continue to spread out the word. So
Are there any misconceptions of coffee? I think one of them, for someone like me, like I'm really stupid with it, but I used to think like a dark roast coffee would have more caffeine than a light roast.
no, not
But
really.
that's not
No,
true.
no, not. A lot of people these days they said, oh, dark roast has like more caffeine, but not at all.
I heard from my uncle that you're a huge Premier League fan, specifically Liverpool.
Yeah, right.
Do you follow that very closely?
Lately, with families and all that, but yeah, I always make sure that I get updates of what is happening right now.
They suck
Want
this
to talk
season,
about
right?
the season? Yeah, I know.
They're
Everyone is gonna say that.
It's
Don't tell me you are a Man United fan.
no, I'm actually not even a Premier
Okay,
League fan.
all right.
I watch La Liga,
Fine.
Bundesliga,
All right.
but look, Liverpool, this wasn't their best season. But
True.
prior to this 4 or 5 seasons, they were on top. They were top 3, top 5.
See,
You guys did lose Sadio Mane as well, so I'll
Right.
give you that.
That would be one reason. The other is like, especially last season, what happened was we have so much of injuries, right? And same thing happened with this season. The initial, at least 5-6 main players, they are down with the injuries, and I think at the end of the day, it boils down on your not commitment, but the confidence that you have in your own teammates and in yourself as well. You talk about the Arsenal right now. They playing very good. There's no like this star player, but again, like, so they started the season and they started to have that confidence. Of course, the manager plays a very important role as well. To trust and whom to let go and keep and all that, the formation of player and all that. But yeah, definitely, I think this year is not a season for us. We had some good, amazing chances. Our striker have missed a number of times. Talk about Salah. I know, like, some easy shot, like he just missed it out,
Exactly. And now that you've lost Mane, the one who's replacing him is a 23-year-old kid, Nunez. How can you expect to put all your hopes on him? He's just a kid. He's
Right.
going to grow. He's going to
Right.
mature.
Mm.
And now the next eye goes to Mo Salah and the mistakes that he's been making. I always say that this season, Liverpool has been the most consistently inconsistent team.
True.
They'll beat Manchester United 7-0.
Right.
And the next game, they'll lose 3-0 to Wolves.
True.
Wolves!
Oh, yeah.
Or they'll draw to Brighton. And look, I agree with I see where you're coming from when it comes with the injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I think Virgil van Dijk,
That was a starting point. Yeah.
he's not been good. He's disappointingly been
Right.
bad. I think he said that he had his ankle damaged because of the World Cup. I think Jordan Henderson from England gave him a really bad tackle.
Van Dijk, the first year he joined, he was like amazing. He's like the wall, and he even deserved to get a Ballon d'Or, but he's not consistent, honestly. So yeah, and he's been quite slow these days.
Right. His man-on-man marking has been just a
Right.
little bit poor. Poor for his standards. He's still an okay
Right,
defender,
right.
but you know, for what he was. Do you see Liverpool coming back next season?
I could sense that because I think once the season ends, we also need to come back, sit together, think about, and come up with the next formation. I think definitely. The next, but the problem, like what you say, is we're not consistent now. For once, when we beat like Man United with 7-0, okay, fine. Now we're coming back, and the next match, like we're just down there. The most disappointing match was against the Chelsea. We had like huge advantage with the ball. I mean, we have a lot of chances to make the goal. End up with a draw, right, bro? I mean,
For someone just looking at that, it's like, okay, it's a draw with Chelsea, that's fine. But if you watch the whole match,
yeah, right. We deserve to win it, bro.
it should be 6-0.
Yeah,
The amount
true,
of,
true.
The amount of chances that they missed.
So that's the kind of performance that we're doing right now. So I can't really be certain of like whether we'll come back to top 4. Which is very, very difficult. I mean, in our group, we also still talk about that. Can we make it to top 4 this season? But very, very less chances.
That's ridiculous to think about, right? This is Liverpool. We're not talking about some back alley
Right.
team. This is a team that I think is in number 8 right now. Around
Score
those points.
47.
47.
Yeah.
And the teams below them are just behind them. 48, 49, 50. It's anyone's game. They could jump from 7th place to 10th place.
With the kind of form that we have, I think we can lose to anybody anytime. So
What do you think needs to change to turn this around? People are already calling for Van Dijk to be kicked out of the team or to be sold. I think that's a bit too much.
yeah, I think Van Dijk needs to be there definitely. But even on our manager, Klopp need to be a little more, consistent with. Okay, fine. I mean, whom should I do? Because he's doing too much of experimenting this season. I don't know what is the actual reason behind. Probably because like we have some few new players.
Right.
But again, he also need to think and go away with, okay, this is what we want. It's too much of experimentation may not really work.
I'm seeing that as well. But I don't think he should be fired either. He's
No,
the one that
he should
pulled.
not. He should not.
Yeah,
I
he's the one
mean,
that pulled Liverpool out of.
Yeah, that's what. I mean, for once, Liverpool is like way down there. Cup came back, and I mean, he brings everything, right? I mean, we had the Champions League, we had the Premier League. You talk about a small cup lead as well. I mean, so we have all the cups under him, right? So he need not to be fired. I mean, we need to give him more time to settle a bit. Probably because a lot of pressure. See, at the end of the day, I mean, when it comes to football, I mean, the owner has so much to take on. So, but definitely we need to give time to Klopp for the next season.
And the thing with football, it's very unforgiving to be a manager because the blame ultimately falls on you. I think Klopp came out recently.
Like how Lampard and Gerrard just fired within no time. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or like the whole Manchester United situation.
They're
They're constantly swapping out. At least now they have a much better one. But the whole Cristiano Ronaldo fiasco.
I think definitely our counter attack is not like before. I mean, talk about City right now. I mean, they're doing so well, right? I mean, you don't expect, but we tuck and then just get inside. I mean, such things are not happening right now with our team. So, and again, I mean, you can't do play with the ball, come close to the goal, but you're gonna make a score. I mean, finishing is never there right now. So, I think we really need to work on a very good striker right now. Like you said, once Mane was out, there was a huge gap, and I think Klopp has like more soft corner for Mo Salah,
I
probably
think so.
because of the whatever number he has. But I think as a player, I really admire Mane. Not because like I've seen how he grew up, how he struggled to become a footballer, and after he becomes a footballer, how he's contributing for the society. Not I mean, even living besides what he's doing right now, but even as a player, like he's amazing. I mean, he's really quick. So I still really admire Mane anyway.
But I think that's it. Yeah. Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks so much.
I didn't want to take your time because you live pretty far away. But thanks for being here, man.
Thanks
For
so
real.
much. Thanks
Yeah,
so much.
yeah.
I'm really excited to be here, and I mean, it was such an amazing time.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.